I have a question for you out there. Is music in danger of being destroyed? If it is, let's find out how we can save it. Hey, welcome to the Swag and Jazzy channel. So today what we're going to talk about 8 of the biggest problems for emerging musicians. This video was inspired by a book that I just recently read that really resonated with me. It was written by Grammy Award-winning bassist Victor Wooten, and the title of the book is called The Spirit of Music. It's a good read, you need to check it out. Although it's a fictional read, it really hit home as to how I've been feeling in the last 2 to 3 decades of how music was changing. And in my opinion, not for the better. Yes, I know things change and new generations emerge, but I also wasn't born in the 40s and the 50s either, and I dug a lot of the music made back then and can relate to it. But overall, the book instills the question that I really want you to keep in mind as you view this video. The question is music in danger, and do we need to save it? The music industry has radically changed in the last couple of decades. Between the internet and the social media revolution, a transformation has taken place on the way music is created and the way we consume it. And because of such changes, barriers have been created for new and emerging artists to be heard and to make a living. The hope of this video is not to discourage artists out there from reaching their dreams or deter them from their ambitions. To the contrary, the main objective of this video is to encourage those watching to become more attentive consumers of music and to help support the emerging artists. Talented unknown artists are in danger of never being heard by us. Keep that in mind. So now let's get into the depths of the video. The 8 biggest problems for emerging musicians. Number 1 for the biggest problems for emerging musicians is the vast majority of artists do not make no money. No dinero, no bread. Streaming is the dominant force of music consumption now. Unfortunately, it also pays the artist the worst of any formats that came before it. According to TuneCore, a global platform for independent musicians and artists, 99% of all musicians and artists can't make a livable wage. A recent Citigroup report indicated that musicians only cop about 12% of the $43 billion generated in the music industry in 2017. Although the music industry itself is a profitable enterprise, the musicians who produce the riches are left as starving artists. This fact is reiterated when it was revealed that in order for a musician to earn a decent livable income through streaming platforms such as Spotify, an artist needs to roughly produce 120,000 streams consistently per month, and that is considering if he or she is the owner of the rights to the track that they are putting out there for public consumption, which is seldom the case. Number 2 of the 8 problems that are for emerging artists trying to break into the industry. Number 2, long-term record deals are becoming a thing of the past. With business instability within the music industry and therefore low job security, record labels find it difficult in developing an artist over the long term, not to mention the artists they already have that they are already representing. Instability leads to inconsistencies in maintaining the necessary personnel to help artists to shape themselves before putting them out for the world to see. And because record companies overpay their executives by a wide margin, diverting funds from an executive's salary to invest in a developing artist is a risk towards the executive's own personal coffers. And number 3 for the 8 problems for emerging artists. Number 3 is live shows. Live shows constitute the biggest revenue stream for most artists, but the world of live shows and concerts are more intricate than ever before to navigate through. Emerging artists are having a hard time finding the right spots to showcase their talents. I mean, rap probably wouldn't go well with a country honky tonk type of venue. And with the effect of the past pandemic, that had on some businesses several years ago, which caused certain clubs, bars, and venues that used to host upcoming artists either go out of business or change their overall business practices. What does that mean? Meaning no more hiring of entertainment. This created an even more sparse for emerging artists to perform live. And then there's people, the consumer. People are becoming more distrusting of how tickets are sold and the service fees that come with them. Just recently, Ticketmaster was hacked, therefore jeopardizing personal information of about maybe 500 million of their clients, I believe. And at the time of this video, there was also a scam with the same company of tickets being claimed and stolen from various Ticketmaster accounts. And did I mention the service fees that can be as high as 75% of the ticket base price? In short, consumer confidence in purchasing tickets for live shows is starting to wane. And lastly, regarding live shows, we're talking about the merch CD sold at live shows, which was once a very solid source of on-the-road revenue. But because the dominance of streaming, the sale of the CD now has to compete with such dominance. Although I'm hearing the sales of CDs are starting to rise again, but keep this in mind also. The majority of new cars are built without having CD players. The CD player in some cars is no longer standard. It has become an option with certain car manufacturers. So if you don't have a CD player in your car, more than likely you're not going to buy a CD. And we come to the halfway point of the 8 problems for emerging artists in today's music industry. Number 4, music has become all about the visuals. It was the Buggles that singed out the song "Video Killed the Radio Star" back in the early 80s. Updating that song to today's modern music ecosystem, social media is killing the musician, the emerging musician. And because very little innovation doesn't come from within inside the music industry, it is now dictated by non-music industry players like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. For emerging artists, and in some cases established artists, to get their music noticed at all, it has to be accompanied by attention-grabbing visual content. Unlike the well-directed storyline music videos of the 80s and the 90s of where one would sit and watch the video in its entirety, such skill isn't required in the use of social media. And because social media has brought about shorter attention spans, the focus in promoting a song is to come up with a perfect high point in the video that is accompanied by a catchy hook line or chorus in hopes of getting a like and not getting swiped away to something else. The overall song and sound takes a backseat to the visual. Hey, we are at number 5. We're at number 5, 8 of the biggest problems for emerging artists in the music industry. Attention spans are shorter than ever. That's number 5. Piggybacking off of the previous point of social media, instant gratification is the rule of the day. And if it doesn't come quick, an artist will be lucky if at least 50% of his or her music is listened to. Back in the day when vinyl, cassette tapes, and CDs were king, remember the side A and side B of records and tapes? Oh, how I miss those days. Anyway, consumers would take their time back in the day when we had those vinyl records and cassette tapes and CDs. They would take their time and allow the whole album to play out. But today's music executives are aware of the budding shorter attention spans that are occurring in today's generation. It is not enough for an artist to release an album every 3 to 4 years. A statement made by a Spotify CEO back in July of 2020 had said this. Funny, aren't they part of the problem? Today, the average listener of music will not listen to an entire album or even a 6-minute song. And for number 6, today's musicians have to be the jack of all trades. Because of the lack of support provided by today's music industry as it was once provided before, Musicians are finding themselves having to take on other tasks in addition to creating music. Today's musicians who are trying to make it have to play the role of manager, writer, producer, promoter, and in some case, recording engineer. Having many fingers in the jar is required when unable to hire auxiliary personnel to build a team, like it used to be with the record companies. And we come to number 7, industry monopolies. Because there are a handful of key giants in the music industry and plenty of emerging artists and therefore undiscovered music, favor goes to those giants in choosing who they want to discover to skyrocket them to fame. And because these handful of music industry giants are in a position of dominance, the independent labels, which usually have signed emerging artists, are bought up by these giants, and therefore the giants are having total control of the emerging artists and their future. So the emerging artists and having a say in how they want to move in their career is more constrained, thereby creating more difficulties for the emerging artists for visibility. And lastly, we come to number 8, privacy and copyright infringement. It's bad enough that the emerging artists are having a tough time just trying to make a livable wage. But when their creation is pirated and or copied without permission, this only festers the wound. If one can't afford a manager, promoter, writers, etc., per se a team, one can only imagine how difficult it is for an emerging artist can afford to hire an attorney to fight against one's own music being stolen. Now, like I stated at the beginning of the video, this video is not about trying to discourage those who have dreams and aspirations of getting their creativity out there to be enjoyed by the masses. This video is more so a call to action for consumers of music, for music lovers out there, to find a way to support these emerging artists, because there's a lot of talent out there, and if we don't change our mindset, there's a lot of talent out there that we're going to miss out on hearing. Now we've kind of talked about the dark side for the emerging artists. Let's talk about the light side, ways that we can support emerging artists. And there's 4 that come to mind. First one being is music festivals. Attend a music festival, whether it be one that comes into your neck of the woods or one that you may have to travel to. If you're bored out of your wits end, this may be the calling you need to get outside and experience something new. And try not to get caught up into what type of music will be played. It's all about the experience. Music festivals tend to showcase artists that are not yet in the mainstream. The number 2 thing that we can do is to support local businesses that host live entertainment. Look around your community for a local business that hosts live entertainment and go there to support that business and the artist. It could be a bar or a small to medium-sized concert venue. But it's places like these of where real struggling artists are found. Who knows, you might meet somebody. And always, if there's a tip jar there, always give the artist a tip. They deserve it. So, number 3, track the artist by following them on their website. Today, a lot of emerging artists have their own websites. And if you find one that you love and admire, find out if they have a website. And on their website, some artists even offer ways you can buy tickets directly from them and buying merch. It's a great way to ensure that you're putting the money in the hands of the artist. And it's a great way to really find out where they're going to be in terms of their next show or concert. And lastly, to help out the emerging artists, instead of just listening to songs on certain streaming devices that you may be a member of, how about buying the song? This will help the artists, the emerging artists, a great deal than you just listening to it. Now, I know most of us pay a monthly streaming subscription that allows you to listen to a song as much as you want. But if you love a song that you found on a streaming platform, just don't listen to the song over and over. Buy it. Look at it this way. We can buy a latte for $5 from Starbucks. Drink it up until it's gone, and we throw away the cup. A temporary fix that has to be bought again in order to experience again. But that $5 could go into the artist's pocket, and you will have his and her creation forever that can be accessed anytime, anywhere, even though if you cancel your streaming subscription. Think about that. Well, that concludes the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value out of it. And my main premise of this video is to inspire and encourage those who are consumers of music to really think about the artists, the time and the blood, sweat, and energy that they put in to create the music that we enjoy, and how a lot of them are not getting compensated for as much as they should be compensated for. So we have got to be aware of this so that way we can better able to support these artists. So anyway, if you like the video, please give it a like. Please make a comment, and by all means, I really would love to see you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, because I definitely can use the fellow subscribers for this channel so I can keep making videos to hopefully help inspire creativity and art for those who are interested in such. I do feel that art and music are in danger in this country, and I feel that this is one way maybe we can start thinking about how we can better able to give support to these creators. So please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, and peace and blessings to you. And for those creators out there, keep pushing towards your dreams. Don't give up. And hopefully everything will pan out for you. Take care. Bye-bye.